Viewers, welcome to Die! Wait, not Die. Toon'd In, that's it. I am Josh, Master of Review. No matter how new, no matter how old, no matter the cost, bub. This week on Racism Month, I'll be taking a look at a group of people feared and hunted for how they were born. That's right, I mean superpowered mutants. Yep, this week's a super tune! Come back after the credits, and I'll take a look at a failed pilot and a successful animated series, based off of Marvel Comics' X-Men. First, the pilot. X-Men, Pride of the X-Men, was an animated pilot drawn by Toei Animation in 1989. That's right, in a weird way, Pride of the X-Men was an anime. There are a few things to note about Pride before I move on. It was narrated by our favorite grandpa, comic book legend Stan Lee. It was the base for X-Men the arcade game from Konami, which is where I got the Welcome to Die line, as well as I am Magneto, Master of Magnet. The team in Pride consisted of Cyclops, Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Wolverine, who is inexplicably Australian instead of Canadian, Kitty Pryde, who can walk through walls, and Dazzler. Really? Dazzler? Well, she kinda makes pretty lights out of sound. Lastly, Pride of the X-Men had a decent theme song. Have a quick listen to the obvious 80s cheese.
X-Men, X-Men, it's the day, X-Men, X-Men, coming your way. Magneto's hordes are all the way to pillage, burn, and plunder. But there's one team that will not yield, the team that strikes like thunder. X-Men, X-Men, it's the day, X-Men.
Not bad. But this theme song will be destroyed, and from its ashes, I will build a better one. After Pride of the X-Men was not picked up, Marvel made a second attempt at an animated series, only this time it succeeded. Picked up by the Fox network for their Fox Kids lineup, X-Men debuted in 1992 and aired for 5 seasons with 76 episodes. Like in the comics, X-Men followed a race of humanity called mutants, who were born with unusual abilities that manifested as they became teenagers. Non-mutant humans hate and fear these people, mimicking the racial politics of the 60s and 70s. Like with Pride of the X-Men, the team was dispatched by the telepathic Charles Xavier, or Professor X if you prefer. The actual team lineup was changed a lot from Pride though. This time the X-Men were Cyclops, the by-the-books leader with laser eyes. Wolverine, the nearly invincible Canadian berserker with animal senses and metal claws. Rogue, a southern belle with super strength, flight, and the ability to absorb your life force and power if she touches you with her bare skin. Storm, a woman from Kenya who can command the very weather with ease. Beast, a hulking blue-furred professor with inhuman strength and agility. Jean Grey, a telekinetic with some telepathic ability, but not on the level of Professor X. She is often overwhelmed and faints a lot in the series. Jubilee, a teenager with the pretty but possibly weak ability to shoot fireworks from her hands. And lastly, Gambit, my favorite of the X-Men. This Cajun ex-thief carries a staff that he uses as a weapon and for athletic stunts. Ah, but that's not all the gambit, I guarantee. His actual power is being able to charge objects with kinetic energy and turn almost anything into an explosive weapon, like his trademark playing cards. The X-Men series went along many of the iconic storylines throughout the comic book history, like Days of Future Past, Age of Apocalypse, the Phoenix Saga, the Dark Phoenix Saga, and delving into Wolverine's past with the mysterious Weapon X program. Often, the villainous Magneto and his Brotherhood of Mutants would become a major antagonist in many episodes. I'm thinking I could probably wrap this thing up now. Do the thing.
What does the fuck say?
This show covered deep issues normally reserved for more adult shows, and was much more than just a superhero action show. I loved this show, and still do in fact, and well, it may well be one of the best superhero cartoons of all time, and if you like that sort of thing, I highly recommend you watch this cartoon. Next week, Racism Month rolls on, with a parody of comic book superheroes and race relations, Minoriteam. I hope you're ready for this one. It's a doozy. But until then, this was Josh the Fox Mills saying, stay tuned.